Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions Manchester United related. And it is the Tuesday edition of the ManDem United podcast. So I'm joined by my co-host on Tuesdays, Mr. Red United TV, Mr. Ivorian Spice is in the building. What are you telling me, Ivorian? You good?
I am humbly blessed, man. I'm in the highest spirit of them all as a Manchester United fan. I'm forever smiling. I
Yeah.
haven't stopped smiling since last year. Like ever since. I've just been grinning and smiling. People ask me, "Why are you so happy at work on a Monday morning? Like, ain't you supposed to be upset that you're at work?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I had a brilliant weekend. Life is good."
Absolutely.
But yes, my people, big up to everyone that's tuning as always, man. Smash that like button. We're trying to get 100 likes minimum. You get me? As
We're trying to
always.
get there, hundred
It-
percent. That's
for
that's
Flawless,
that's done
how
now.
are you? And also, happy Valentine's Days to those who celebrate, those who have something. Happy Valentine's to everyone.
Yes, to everyone who's celebrating, man them, the girl them, everyone. Like
Hmm.
if it's for everyone who is celebrating, and even if you're not to the man them, like I've been saying for the past couple of days, even if you don't celebrate it with your other half, get something nice. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't
Exactly.
celebrate it, and same to the females as well. Even if you don't celebrate it, get your man something nice. That's what I would say on that. But big up to everyone who is locked in, everyone who's supporting. We're already at 14 likes already, so big up to you lot. Let's get that up to 20 likes. I like how you lot have been on the like check from the jump. I love that. Let's share this across all of the socials as well. Every social media app you are active on, share this across. And just as important as those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, people. We are looking for 5 new subscribers to get us to 5,275 new subs by the
Hmm.
end of this stream. That is what we are looking for, people. That is what we are looking for. And I know you lot can make that happen because I know there's some new people here. But yeah, like I stated, keep all of your comments and questions Manchester United related. As you can see from the title, I was talking about this yesterday. Me and Double A discussed it as well. How important is the Barcelona tie in the Europa League? That's what we will be discussing. For those that are regular watchers of the channel, I've mentioned to me how important it is, and I will now go into further detail. But we'll go to Ivorian first. We'll go to
Yeah.
you first. How important is this tie to you? Because I've seen it's been very mixed. I see both I see the pros and I see the cons. But what's your thoughts on this tie against Barcelona coming up?
Well, I can understand if people want to say, if they want to have their thoughts on whether it's worth having been in the Europa League. In my opinion, it's absolutely important because at the end of the day, I know we drew Barcelona, but we want to win the Europa League. It's always been in my mind from the moment we've entered the Europa League is to win it. The tie is important regardless of what's going on outside of the Europa League regarding the Premier League situation, because obviously it looks like we're on set to finish in the top four, but nothing's
Yeah,
ever guaranteed. We've got just gone past the halfway mark of the season with plenty more games, so you just never know where Manchester United could finish. Hopefully, they finish within the top four, but still, we still need to win that trophy in the Europa League. A trophy is needed to gather up the momentum, to gather up winning mentality, and if Manchester United can knock out Barcelona, which is going to be the toughest tie out of
yeah,
out of all the times we've had so far in the Europa League, this is the
absolutely.
biggest test to see where we are fundamentally, where we are in our development as a squad as well. Can we play against a team like Barcelona, who I personally believe, looking at their current form and where they are in the league, they technically are a Champions League team, just in the Europa League team. So it's going to be a big time. We'll see how Manchester United do, but it's extremely important this game. If you're thinking it's not, I don't understand. Every game's important, in my opinion.
Agreed. I
Mhm.
agree with that. I fully agree with that. Large up to everyone that's locked in, and we're gonna go into further detail because I'm sure there's people, like I say, there's people who are on the side of how you're thinking, how I'm thinking, and there's
Mhm.
others who see it a different way. Big up to Dennis, who says big up Flawless. Just came back from the girl's house, gave her teddy bears and chocolate. Yeah, man, that's good. Love that because I'm just gonna ignore the last part of that comment. But yeah, big up to you, Dennis, man. In it, like history run says, like the stream, hit the likes up, people. Make sure you do. CB says I'm here early for once. I was slightly late. That's on me, but we're here. JB says big up Flawless. We will get into the Qatari owners and well potential Qatari owners or new ownership of Manchester United and get Ivorian's thoughts on that as well. Give it to Mikey here. Says with 4 guys out and two of them essential players and how Barca are playing, do you guys really think we can go into the Camp Nou and get a result? And considering our record against Spanish clubs, yes, because this is not Barcelona of old. Are Barcelona in good form? Yes. Top of their league also, yes. Defensively been solid, yes. Have one of the have a player on that pitch who can turn a game on his head in an instant, and Lewandowski also, yes. But aside from that, we're in great form. You know what I'm saying? We're defensively solid. We have one of the most informed players in Europe. We also have a better manager. And I keep talking about this. Stylistically, I love how we match up against Barcelona. Again, people forget quality. I'm not talking about the quality of either side. I'm talking about them playing that tiki-taka football with a high line. I've spoken on here. Ivorian spoken on here. So I know he agrees with me on this, that Manchester United are a better side without the football. We are better in transition and on counter-attacking. Barcelona, that is their kryptonite. That is their weakness. And that high line they play suits us down to a T. I'm expecting a big games from the likes of Rashford, Garnacho when he eventually gets on the pitch, Bruno, because one thing he can do is hit space and he's good at them third-person runs. Sancho as well. I throw Weghorst in the mix. Never mind your Casemiro's, Martinez when he returns, because obviously he's suspended for the first leg. Varane, of course, Daloa, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw will probably play Malacia. But in terms of our offensive players, I'm expecting a lot from Casemiro in terms of transitioning the ball. Same with Daloa as well. Same with Shaw, even playing the ball through the lines, to be honest. That high line suits us down to a T. So, yeah, I don't get this whole be scared of Barcelona. I'm not. Respect them. Yes. 110%. I respect any team I respect all teams in general, but I respect any team in the form they're in. But they're in great form. They're confident. We're also in great form and confident. So, yes, I'm very confident of going to the Camp Nou and getting a result. And I think as long as we don't get beat, even though I predicted us to win, as long as we don't get beat, we go through in this tie. Because there's no away goals. So if we go there and we draw 1-1, for instance, or it's a 0-0 stinkfest and we're awful, and De Gea plays 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying, 12 out of 10, and he rolls it back to when we played Arsenal when Lingard Millie rocked, and he has to save 35, 40 shots, and we somehow managed to get a draw out of it. I think we'll beat them. So, yeah, I'm very confident. And our record is bad against Spanish sides, but guess what? They're not Barcelona of old. Yes, they're in good form, but this is the worst Barcelona side we've played in the modern times. So if I'm wrong, someone correct me in the comments. Do you remember Ivorian? Has there been a worse Barcelona side we have played than this one currently?
This is the worst one compared to what we've played in the past.
Yes. So that's why I don't take into consideration our record against Spanish clubs. Bear in mind, we just went to Sociedad and won this season. Bear in mind, Barcelona, yeah, they've improved, but they dropped out of the Champions League. People forget that. But because it's Barcelona, people want to sweep that under the rug. I keep stating this. If we would have went out to that group, we would still hear about it now. If we went out of a Champions League group with Bayern Munich, Victoria P, and Inter Milan, we would still be hearing about that now. It wouldn't be, your form's been better, players are in better form, your manager's found his feet. No, the same way we still get told about Brighton and Brentford now. That still gets mentioned to this day. So how come Barcelona after that going out? And that's a Europa League level group. Let's not get it mistaken. Yes, Bayern Munich are a top quality side. Inter Milan, a European level side. A Europa League level side. Let's call a spade a spade. They are. Watching people. Watch them. And Victoria P had the even Conference League. Like, come on. So if we would have went out in that group, we would still not hear the end of it. So yes, I'm very confident. Why would I not be? We're in good form. So I don't get it. Like, confidence is high. Yeah, facts, flawless. Dennis says, hey, Real Sociedad are a decent team, flawless. They're only 3 points behind us in the league, and we went there and battered them in that game away from home. Yes, they beat us at OT, but we beat them there comfortably. And if it wasn't for that Don playing and who's now applying his trade in Saudi Arabia, we would have topped this group. But that's a whole different conversation. People ain't ready for it. Before we continue, though, let's bump up the likes. We are at 21 likes, people. Let's get up to 30 likes, please. Make sure you do so. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. I'm not even sure if we've had any new subscribers. Continue to get your questions in, but keep them Manchester United related, people. We will not be answering non-Manchester United questions as well. Let's see what's happening. Give it to Mike. He says, a trophy from this competition would be nice, but with the thinness of our squad, the fixture pile up in 4 competitions just seems too much for us, and getting bounced might be best for us. I don't understand this. Why are we giving up a trophy to finish in the top 4? This is why I don't understand. We're not going to win the Premier League. Out of the 4 competitions we're in, yes, our squad is thin. I do agree with you. Give it to Mikey. Why are we giving up our better chance? That we have a better chance of winning the Europa League than we do the Premier League. So why are we not prioritizing the Europa League? I don't get this prioritizing the Premier League to finish 2nd or finish 3rd or finish 4th. There's no trophy for that. I really don't understand. Someone said it to me yesterday on ManDem United. If you win the Europa League, when you go into the Champions League, you go into pot 1. So then that increases our chances of going through it rather than go through by top 4. Say we finish 3rd and we're in pot 2 or pot 3. And essentially that could lead to Manchester United getting a tougher group, which then leads to us having a potentially tougher draw in the next round of the knockout stages of the Champions League. Don't we want to win trophies? I don't get this top 4 thing. I'm still lost to it. Why we're throwing away Europa League when you look at the competition there and it's not that tough. Yes, Barcelona are, but I'm saying outside of them. You got Barcelona, you got Arsenal. Who else is in there? Union Saint-Gilloise. So you're telling me we need our first team to beat a Belgian Pro League team. And I keep using them as an example because they top their group as well. I went through it yesterday and I'll probably go through it again in terms of the teams left. That competition is wide open. Why are we throwing it away to finish 3rd? What is the trophy for 3rd? What is the trophy for 2nd? Now, if people believe we can win the Premier League, that's a different conversation. But I believe that's much tougher. What's your thoughts on this, though? What are you saying, Ivorian?
Absolutely.
I don't get it.
In my opinion, you can tell from the weekend against Leeds that Ten Hag himself values the Europa League to rest Rafael Varane and Martinez and other key players as well, just so that they're ready for Barcelona. It just shows that he values that tie. You know, we are in the top 4. We could finish in the top 4. But at the end of the day, we're not going to win the Premier League. And even Ten Hag knows that. Yeah. So in my opinion, we are in 4 competitions, but we're technically in 3. Yeah. Which is the other 3 competition where we have the best chance to actually win, which is of course the Carabao Cup. We're in the final. We're still in the FA Cup and the Europa League. I believe if we knock out Barcelona, we've got the best chance of going to the finals and winning it, because that's the toughest test out of all of them. I don't know who else is in that Europa League. I can't remember from the top of my head, but Barcelona are the toughest team.
Well, carry on.
But you know what? Again, I don't understand why people think that we should just prioritize the Premier League and not think about the Europa League. It's about winning trophies at the end of the day, you know. Don't listen to... I think you guys have been sucked into this Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trophies of our egos. No! Trophies show success, you know. If you're going to have kids and you've got no medals and you're telling your kids that I used to be a footballer and I used to be one of the best, your kids don't believe you until you show them the trophies, you know. It's all about stats with these kids. So they won't believe you. Look at Harry Kane. Their children will never believe that he was a world-class striker. Where's your trophies, daddy? That's what they're going to be saying. Where's your medals, daddy? You're a liar. You know, at the end of the day, it's very important. And with the Barcelona thing, you know, Flawless, I have to say again, I'm not going to say that I'm confident that Manchester United will go out there and knock out Barcelona. I see it as a tough tie. I already said it before.
It's definitely a tough tie. Don't get it mistaken. People don't mistake my confidence for arrogance. It's a tough tie. It's not easy. But yeah, go on, carry on.
And go in there as well. And you have to just acknowledge the fact that Barcelona still got a solid team, you know, from starting 11. They've got some big players as well in that midfield. And I believe right now, going there with the midfield that we have against their midfield, it's going to be a battle, you know. Definitely. I'm hoping that Ten Hag is the better manager out of Xavi. Let's be real. In terms of...
He's miles better.
In-game management as well, miles better than him. But just that, in my opinion, I believe Barcelona are the better, stronger squad, pound for pound in selection and squad roster. But I'm just hopeful that Manchester United can get something. A draw will be needed. Even if it's a 2-1 loss, we can take that to Old Trafford and then show them the ways, man. But guys, please don't neglect the Europa League. Don't think that it's not important, because it's important. Every game is important. Every tournament that we are Manchester United. Again, word to say, we are this is Manchester United
Football Club, man. You know what I'm saying?
All 4 fronts. Get me? We go there. Every competition that we're in, we want to win. Even if it's British Got Talent, we want to win that as well. British Got Talent, I don't care. Even if it's Love Island, if Manchester United on Love Island, We want to win that, bruv. It is what it is. That's the mentality that we need to have. Like, let's not drop our standards, because I know the last 10 years has been really bad, but we should still hold that standard really high, and we should.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
thing.
man.
Yeah, I really, I'm lost. Like, I really don't get it. And this is something me in the chat I've been going back and forth about for like the entire time. If people talk about throw away the Europa League, to what? To finish third? What? Like, that just makes no sense to me. I'm at a loss. Like, it makes zero sense. Why are we throwing away a competition we can win to finish second? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Let's continue on. Big up to Steve. I see you. Big up Rogue as well. Daredevil says big up Flawless Ivorian and everyone else.
Big up, big up, big up, big up.
Love from the USA. First of all, Valentine's Day. Big up. Whether it's the Europa League or EFL Cup. Big games this week. I'm looking forward to Arsenal, City, Barca, Manchester United. Yes, Lewandowski is the danger man. Like, he is the guy that I'm fearful of. Question to Flawless and Ivorian: Do you guys have confidence Varane can do a job against Lewandowski? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Go on.
I witnessed Raphael Varane and Luke Shaw deal with Erling Haaland, put him in his pockets for a whole 90 minutes where he had no say, nothing to do. The only sad thing is that if it's Varane and Maguire, now Varane's got his hand tied. He's got he's going. But let's hope that it's Luke Shaw or Lindelof, because then they have the better opportunity to deal with Lewandowski. Varane's a top world-class player. He's definitely going to be able to deal with him. Come on. What kind of question is that? That's not a... No. I'd be much more confident if the Butcher was there. And then I definitely will see Lewandowski in the pockets of both of them.
Yeah, like, and that's legit. Like, what it is. Like, I trust Varane against insert striker name here, Dennis. I trust Varane against any striker. That's what I will say, because we're Manchester United, but the way people are talking about Barcelona, there's some super team.
It's not just that we're Manchester United. This is Raphael Varane, 4-time Champions League winner, 1-time World Cup player, a world-class defender, still at his best. Come on, he's dealt with the best.
Yeah. And you adding a world-class midfielder in Casemiro in front.
Thank you.
That's the crazy part, is if roles were switched and Barcelona had our team and had our manager and we had their team, people would be talking about how we have no chance against them. They got De Gea in goal. They've got Raphael Varane, who's a world-class centre-back. Casemiro, who's one of the best midfielders in Europe. Rashford, who's one of the most informed wingers. Ten Hag, who's one of the most informed managers, and he's a much better manager than Xavi. That would be the conversation. But because it's switched, and that's Manchester United with all those things, now Barcelona's a super team. I dislike this. This happens a lot on social media. Anytime, and I've stated this before, and I'll state this again, anytime we're playing a team, their players all turn into superheroes. That's how, not all fans talk about it, but fans will do this. All of a sudden, they're superheroes now. Xavi's this goat of a manager. Pedri and Gavi are that cold, and Busquets and Christensen and Araujo and Conde and all these players are, you know what I'm saying? And while Dembele's injured and Rafinha out, now we have no chance. Like I keep saying, if they were that good, they would have got through that Champions League group. And I stand by that. Because if we didn't get out of that Champions League group, we would still hear about it now. The same way we still get told about the start of the season with Brentford and Brighton. People still bring it up to this day. How long ago was that? That was long before Barcelona went out of that Champions League group, which again is a Europa League level group. And I'm not saying Barcelona don't need to be respected. I'm saying people talking like the golfing class between us two is massive, and it's not. If we go out, it'll be 1-2 goal margin. People talking, oh yeah, we're gonna go there and get slapped 3-4-0. What? No, we're not. We're not gonna go there and get beat 3-4-0. Absolutely not. I've been confident going in through this time. Absolutely. McTominay's injured. Yasin. So I don't know what you're talking about. McTominay's not playing. Right, please do your research. Paul says, at least we have Casemiro back, boss. Barca, like before question. We boss Barca. Before, who replaces Martinez, or do we just switch Shaw to centre-back? I say we will probably just switch Luke Shaw to left-sided centre-back. That's why Luke Shaw played left-sided centre-back at Leeds, to get him accustomed again to playing that position. And we've seen him play against a better team in a bigger game at centre-back. The Ivorian just mentioned, he played as a left-sided centre-back against Manchester City. I thought Ten Hag had lost his mind when I seen that team sheet. But guess what?
Listen,
It worked.
we thought Ten Hag lost his marbles on Sunday playing those making those changes and playing Maguire and Shaw centre back Malacia. We was thinking, what this guy is on? But hey, he pulled off the magic, but he makes it work. He knows how to do it. He reminds me of just like Pep, where Pep does these crazy things and then he will play a centre defensive midfield as a centre back, and it just works because why? The foundation is there. The instructions is there. Everybody knows what to do. And that's our manager, man. That's why I'm a bit confident whenever he puts in someone in an awkward position that they've never played, it probably potentially will work because he knows their credentials. He knows that this person is probably good at receiving the ball, good on the half turn, quick enough to read the game, so he can definitely play in that position. While the player himself doubt themselves, the manager sees it as you can play that position because you got the right profile to play in that position. That's why I'm pulling you there. So big up Ten Hag, man. He's. I know what, I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna pass it back to you because that guy, he changed my life, man.
We want that wax lyrical, man. Let's go give Ten Hag his flowers, man.
No, definitely. Sometimes I get emotional and I feel like crying because of what we've been through in life. You know, I felt like a guy that's been buried underneath a pile of shit, and finally trying to get my way through and got my hands out and then get that fresh gasp of air, like I'm alive again, because that's what it's been like for the last 10 years. We've been stuck in a pile of shit of mud, and Ten Hag has been able for us to reach our hands through that pile of shit and get that fresh air, man. It's trying to change everything, man. We're all happy right now. Look at Flawless. He's smiling. He's been smiling since September. After the 2 games, he's been smiling, smiling and laughing. You get me? Look at Eddie's display picture. He's just smiling. This is what it's done to us, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it really has. Yeah, Paul. So yeah, I expect to see Luke Shaw at left back. Ladjab Eddie says hit the likes, people. Put some respect on my dogs. And here's the thing is with that, people. Like I said, I'm not saying we can't lose this tie. I'm not saying we can't go to Barcelona, have an off day, and we get beat 2-0. I'm just saying, why is there no confidence from Manchester United fans? Rival fans shitting on us, I get it, and hyping up rivals, I get it. Especially Liverpool fans, they got nothing to play for. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna win the Premier League. They out the FA Cup, they out the League Cup, and they out the Champions League. Their season's done. Season's over. Them man are in mid-table, battling for, you know what I'm saying? They're getting hyped up by beating a 17th place team to get 3 points to go 9th. So that's why you see Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans trying to prey on our downfall, because they got nothing to cheer for. That's their trophy this season, is hoping Manchester United fail. So from rival fans, I get it. It's from Manchester United fans when we are in good form. Like United fans don't watch us play week in, week out. Like you just didn't watch us put in an ugly performance away at Leeds and get 3 points. Why are you not confident, especially from a defensive standpoint, when that's been the strong part of our team? And again, I keep talking about this. People go Google the Europa League. Google who's in this playoff round and Google who's won the groups, and go tell me who you're that frightened of. Yes, it's unfortunate that we drew Barcelona, because that was probably, outside of Arsenal, maybe the toughest draw we could have gotten. And that's why I didn't want Barcelona. But we drew Barcelona. The benefit to it and the big plus is the second leg is at OT. And there is also no away goals. Because I'm talking wins. All we have to do is go there and just avoid defeat. That's it. As long as we don't get beat, I think we get through this tie, because then it just makes it a one-legged tie. That first leg is irrelevant because there's not even an away goals to take from them. So even if we go there and we draw 1-1, or like I said, it's a stink fest. And I'm looking here now, like I went through yesterday. Look, you got, here we go, Salzburg and Roma, Ajax and Union Berlin, Shakhtar Donetsk and Rennes, Sevilla and PSV, Sporting and Midtjylland, Juventus and Nantes, Leverkusen and Monaco. So that's the other playoff rounds as well. And then obviously the winners of the groups, you have Arsenal, Fenerbahce, Real Betis, Union Saint-Gelo, Sociedad, Feyenoord, Freiburg, and then that team I couldn't pronounce yesterday, I still can't pronounce it now, beginning with F, who won Group H. But out of them names there that I just listed, any of them teams you look at and go, yeah, I don't want to face them. My point. I look at it like I do the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and I was spot on about the Carabao Cup, the way that opened up in terms of all of the top teams going out. And this is the second tier European competition. Guess what? If these teams was that good, they wouldn't be here. That's how I look at this. If Barcelona were as good as you lot made out, they would have got out of that group. People could say, oh, they've changed it up and they switched it up. So how come it took them so long to do it? Because that wasn't a tough group. If we would have went out of that group, I'd be disappointed. Very like, yo, how did we end up in the champs? I mean, how did we end up in the Europa League? because Inter Milan are going to get packed. And we know Inter Milan are going to get packed. And Bayern Munich ain't even Bayern Munich of old. But yeah, they're a top quality side. But Inter Milan and Victoria peak. But yeah. We'll see. You lot, bump up the likes. We're just under 40 people locked in. Let's share this across the socials. Let's get over 40 people in here. And let's get up to 40 likes as well. We're at 33 likes. And hit the subscribe button as well. We're looking for 5 new subscribers this stream to get us to 5,270. We're looking for 5 new subs, people. Only looking for 5. I know some of you lot who are locked in are new here. So make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Give it to Mike, who says your debating skills are unmatched. You changed my mind on this trophy. It's Manchester United Football Club, man. Give it to Mike.
Exactly.
Why are we not trying to win it? That's how I look at it. Like, if there was tough teams in it, I'd be like, all right, cool. I hear that. I'm hear that. Nick goes here. I'm excited for this tie. Arohu versus Rashford will be very telling. Gavi will get his chance to prove himself. Manchester United centre-backs versus Lewandowski. The tactical manager battle. So many interesting factors. There's a lot of interesting factors. So, and I'm really much looking forward to it. But yeah, you lot continue to get your questions in. It don't have to be on the Europa League tie. It may be something else. Before we obviously close out this segment of the show in regards to the Europa League tie, I'm sure it will pop back up though. Your final thoughts on it, Ivorian? Like, how are you looking at it in terms of the first leg? How do you want to see us set up, and what is your final prediction on it?
Definitely. I did say a bit earlier that, like I said before, I'm not going in there thinking that Manchester United will destroy Barcelona. I'm going in there thinking that Manchester United to get a result, a positive result, which could be either a win or a draw, as long as we don't lose. And if we was to lose, let it just be by 1 goal, where we can, take that to Old Trafford. I'm hoping again for Manchester United to be able to try and gain some possession against Barcelona. It needs. We will see how far we've gone in squad development and the way that Ten Hag wants to play football, to see whether we can compete against them. And it has been evidence that Manchester United can play with the big boys in the Premier League. This is the opportunity for Manchester United to go out in Europe and play one of Europe's finest, to see whether we can hold our ground, especially against Barcelona, a possession-based team, tiki-taka. So I want to see if Manchester United try and do well, try and show their presence at times. I know it's going to be a match where majority of the time Barcelona will probably dominate, but I want to see what we saw against in the big games against Arsenal, where we had that moment at Emirates Stadium where we was passing through them and showing the combination plays, just that we just couldn't execute it into the final third. I want to see Manchester United look a bit dangerous. In terms of starting lineup, I can go with David De Gea and goal. Big game, which this one is the one that where I'm thinking, do I want a defensive right back or more offensive right back to play against Barcelona based on the threats? It depends on who's playing for Barcelona, but I think today at that game there, I would rather see Aaron Wan-Bissaka play. Because we probably won't need him. We probably need him. And then in centre back, it's gonna have to be Raphael Varane. And do you know what? I'll go with Luke Shaw and Terrell Malacia. And then in midfield, of course, Casemiro will be back. So I'm looking forward to him. And then Fred in midfield. So we're gonna see Casemiro and Fred. And up top there, which is an interesting one because it depends. But Sancho, Rashford, Bruno, and of course, Workhorse. People have their opinion on Workhorse. I see some positive impact of what he's done, especially in the last game. To me, I feel like he had a man in the match performance. People can say what you're looking at, what you're thinking, but I saw what he done in that number 10 role, how vital it was in winning those aerial duels, setting up play, linking up well. It may not be what you like because it looks very Peter Crouch-esque when he plays football, and it's not nice on the eye and it's not easy on the eye. But I want to see him play against Barcelona. I feel like he'll do a thing against Barca. What about you, Flawless?
Pretty much, yeah, same team. Because I think our options are limited. The only question marks is the right back, like you said, whether it's Wan-Bissaka or Dalot, and the centre backs, whether it's Shaw, Maguire, or Lindelof. I presume it will be Shaw. If I see Dalot or Wan-Bissaka, I'm cool either way. Midfield, it has to be Fred and Casemiro because Eriksen's out, McTominay's out, and Sabitzer suspended. Has to be Bruno in the 10 because we have no other number 10. Has to be Sancho and Rashford on the wings because we have no other senior wingers, and it has to be Weghorst up front because we have no other senior striker. So the 90% of the team pretty much picks itself apart from 2 positions. But even with that lineup, I fancy our chances. And then a Garnacho off the bench, a Palestri off the bench. I'm just talking from a sheer pace perspective in those areas. I like 100%. Um, and I'm expecting that big players to stand up. You mentioned there we've competed against the best in the country on the domestic level. Now we're going to compete against one of the elite sides in terms of name in Barcelona. So I'm expecting De Gea, Varane, Casemiro, Rashford. Those four I'm looking at to stand up. You're four of our most senior players. You're four of our best players. I'm saying Martinez, you could throw in the mix there. Ericsson, you could throw in the mix, but obviously they're both unavailable. So I'm looking at those four to deliver. Like it's gonna be on De Gea, it's gonna be on Varane, it's gonna be on Casemiro, it's gonna be on Rashford. The goalkeeper, one of the defenders, the central midfielder, well, one of the midfielders, and one of the attackers. If those four all have good games, we'll be fine. But I think, like I keep stating, just avoiding defeat here does the business. I think that puts us in. I would take if there's someone said, "Yo, you can take 1-1 right now and not play the game." I go, you know what? I'll take that because I fancy our chances against anybody at Old Trafford. And Ronan says it here. Haven't seen Barcelona this season, but fancy us against any team in our current form, and that's where I'm at with this. Manchester United fans not talking like we're not in the form we are in. Again, that doesn't mean be big-headed. That doesn't mean dismiss teams. That doesn't mean we're going to roll to the new camp and beat Barcelona 4-0. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying be confident of getting a result. How are you going to back Ten Hag and back the players, and then as soon as we play someone good, we just going to fold? Like, I don't understand that mentality. Bear in mind, we've played City and beat them, and we've played Arsenal and beat them as well. Two sides that are better than Barcelona. Definitely City are anyway, I would say. And I would say Arsenal are as well currently. Put it this way, both Arsenal and Manchester City got out of that Champions League group. Ed says, being the worst Barca side is like being the poorest billionaire. My point is that I'm making is it's not a great Barcelona side.
And
That's
one
my
thing,
point.
Flawless, let
That's
me
the
stop you
point I'm
there.
making. Yeah,
Let me
go on.
stop you there. As one thing I've got to say is Bruno Fernandes on Thursday night and Marcus Rashford, every pass. I don't want the bullshit Bruno spamming everything. I want the decision making to be spot on. Every pass to the player, because in that game, there's no time for making mistakes. And Rashford as well, sometimes, as brilliant as he's been doing, it's that decision making. You know what it is, man, because he can get to you sometimes with the decision making that he makes. But I am pleading, Bruno, please, just like Flawless was like, I'm on my knees, pause, yeah.
I
Bruno,
remember that. That's
every
crazy.
pass, just spot on to the player, to your teammate. No, not to. That's what I want from Bruno on that day. Everything spot on, no mistakes, no irrational thinking, no erratic thinking. Not just fling that ball in, hoping it will find Marcus Rashford. I don't want none of that shit. I just want Bruno to just perform. That's what I'm preaching for, and him and Rashford on that day. Because if we don't get that, we'll have some problems.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And the thing is, I think this is a game. I can't believe I'm saying it's made for Bruno in terms of he's very good at hitting space. Carry on, fam. Carry on. Give me 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. Actually, before we ask your thoughts on this and what Nick said here, 2-2s.
Bruno in a 10 against Frankie de Jong, Pedri is going to be rough. Sancho needs to get involved early. Yeah, definitely. You know what? Yeah, Bruno in a 10 against Frankie de Jong, those guys will keep the ball for fun. And Bruno himself knows that. Like I said before, I've been preaching. I hope that Bruno knows that his short passes need to be accurate. His long passes need to be accurate, because Frankie de Jong and Pedri are pass masters. They will pass the ball till you pass out, bro. Let's be real. They'll pass the ball until you've had enough. And it's going to be rough. And then we need Sancho's creativity, his level of creativity, because we're missing a lot of creativity in that game by just having Casemiro and Fred. And Fred takes a lot out of creativity in that midfield. Casemiro, on the other hand, he's someone that we can play from as well. As you can see from this season, Casemiro can start attacks and end attacks as well. So that's the great thing. He's a vocal point in that midfield, and is a great outlet as well to bring the ball out from the back. So I'm hoping as well with him, the support of Sancho and the support of Bruno Fernandes, creativity is on point. It's a shame that we don't have Ericsson, because then it would have been Casemiro and Ericsson in midfield to match the level of Pedri and Frankie de Jong in midfield, including Sergio Busquets, which I don't know if he's retired or he's still starting. And it sucks that Sabitzer is suspended, because I'd rather see Sabitzer in midfield with Casemiro, because Sabitzer's slightly more creative than Fred. Actually, a lot more creative. I'm lying to you guys right now than Fred. So hopefully, but yeah, we'll see how it is with Bruno Fernandes, because again, in the big games, we've seen it before, guys. Bruno doesn't turn up in big games. He thinks in big games he can start behaving like an email account, start sending spams to everyone, spamming the balls left, right, and centers. No, it's a big game against, and he's got Faker FF that says Busquets is out injured, which is great. It is great. But I want to know what Sabitzer has done. Who has he offended for him to be suspended for this game? The guy was in the Champions League. How is it possible that he's suspended in the Europa League? It makes no sense. How did he get the suspension? Was the suspension from a year before, prior to that, when he was at Salzburg, when they were in the Europa League, and he has to serve that ban? Because someone needs to tell us. It needs to make sense to me, because this guy was in the Champions League, hardly playing for Bayern Munich. How the hell is he suspended? Where did it come from? Because we just got Casemiro back, and to hear that Sabitzer's just been suspended, you're like, what the? We take one step forward and two step back. We're trying to get forward. We're like, yep, Casemiro will be back, guys, for Thursday against Barcelona, and then be suspended again. But then we end up finding out that Sabitza's suspended. You're like, Jesus. But we just can't move on. We just can't move on.
Yeah, let's hold that down. Go on, what are you saying, fam?
Now, definitely highlighting the fact that why Sabitza's
that's stupid. Yeah.
Guy hasn't been playing for Bayern Munich. He's been in the Champions League. What has he done?
That's true. That is true.
How is he suspended? How?
Yeah, it is. And Faker says their midfield will be Kessie, De Jong, and Pedri. If that's their midfield, I'm all for that.
I'm all for that.
Because that's not defensive at all. So that can get got at from a counter-attacking point. If their midfield is De Jong, Pedri, and Kessie, I'm with that. But that's three attack-minded midfielders in there. So yeah, I'm with that. Please, I want them to play that. I'm not talking about the skill set, because the skill, I rate De Jong, I rate Pedri, I rate Kessie. I'm just saying from a defensive standpoint, that gives them who's gonna sit. De Jong by himself,
or is it Kessie? But do you know what's so funny? They both play in that similar position. Kessie and Frankie De Jong playing as the deep line playmaker in the number 6 role as a center defensive midfielder. So it's going to be interesting what positions they take and whether it's been working. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched Barcelona this season. I don't know what they're like. I don't know the type of football they've been playing. You know, I've only witnessed them beat Real Madrid last season of what Xavi can do. So I don't know how that can work, especially without no Sergio Busquets in that midfield.
Yeah, because someone said he was injured. So yeah, we'll see. And Ed says we're going to be defensive. Wan-Bissaka starting. That's cool. Ed, do you not want us to be defensive?
We have to.
Is that not the game plan? You let me know, Ed. What would you do? Like in terms of mentality, would you go there and try and attack and take them on, or would you sit back and hit them on a counter attack? That's what I would say. Ed says, respectfully, most fans don't value the Europa League. For big teams, it's just an alternative way to get in the Champions League if you're struggling for top 4. Yeah, that's why I don't care what most fans think. Most fans thought Ollie was the correct guy for the job. Most fans, that was a genuine argument and a debate day in, day out, week in, week out. Go check some of the ManDem Uniteds. It's on the playlist. It's on the channel. Me and Ivorian here. Talking with fans, going back and forth about Ollie in, Ollie out for months on end. That was a whole civil war. And that was a majority of the fans thought he was good enough and he was the guy. Majority of our fans thought that Cristiano Ronaldo was the guy to take us forward. That was another whole debate that me and Ivorian had with many people. Now all them people have disappeared out of the chat. And I've unblocked everybody, so no one can't say they can't go in the chat. But let us have been successful under Ollie or with Ronaldo. So that's why when you say most fans, like, I don't care what most fans think. Because I think most fans don't know a lot. And I include myself in that. This is why I say when people talk about ownership, which we'll get into, and I don't want no fan involvement. People like the fans should have a voice. No, they shouldn't. Because too many fans are too emotionally invested and make emotional decisions. That's how you end up with Ollie for 3 years. A man who now can't get a job anywhere in Europe. This is how you end up with Cristiano Ronaldo at your football club, who can't get another European club to pick him up, or he has many offers. So how come you're in Saudi Arabia then?
Scoring penalties.
How come you're in Saudi Arabia? If all these
Scoring
top
penalties.
European clubs are in for you, how come you're in Saudi Arabia? If all these this good a manager, how come you're managing under 13s or 14s or whatever it is? So yeah, that's why I don't care about what most fans want, because most fans are too emotionally invested. And this is how you end up making decisions that are not logical. On Battle of the North, it was pre-recorded. It's out now. Big up to Matisse, Sam. Big up to Hugh, who's on as well, and Daps, of course. As Sam said it, we asked him to predict the Merseyside derby. He said, I'm too emotionally invested, which is very honest of him. Salute to him, but I don't want that at my football club. Make the logical best decision. All this emotions and feelings and sentiment. It's like people who don't want Old Trafford knocked down. If Old Trafford has to get knocked down, I'm not saying it should be, but if it has to get knocked down for Manchester United to go forward and move on, so be it. People talk about tradition. You know what the tradition of Manchester United is? Winning trophies. Not top 4. Trophies. Winning trophies. Success. All this other stuff don't matter. So yeah, if people don't value Europa League, that's on them. See, and Daredevil said it here. Our club is all about silverware and winning trophies. Oh yeah, Ed, I wasn't saying you. I was saying in general. That was a genuine debate. I wasn't saying you in particular. But it was a legit debate. So that's why I'm just saying I don't care what most fans think. Because if we did what most fans think, we'd be in League 2.
Yep.
We'd be legit in League 2. We're just playing all academy players. McTominay, Brandon Williams, you know what I'm saying? Kobe Mano, no disrespect to him. Like all it would be full of Carrington, which is not the way forward. I'm telling you right now. Don't sign Casemiro. We've got what's his name? James Garner.
James Garner.
Yeah. James Garner.
James Garner was so spoken about. Look at him. He can't even start in the Everton team.
It's outrageous, man. It is. Nick says De Jong plays deeper and so will Pedri, but more as a creative deep line playmaker. Kessie will be a physical presence, making those late attacking runs. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm genuinely looking forward to the game. I really am. And Emma said here, do I want to knock Barca out? Absolutely, yes. Do I care about the Europa? Not really. I'd rather win both domestic cups and establish ourselves domestically. I'd rather win both domestic cups and the Europa League.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand people's opinion when it comes to the Europa League. Is it because it's been Europa League, it's been second tier of the Champions League that it doesn't mean anything? Listen, those people that win those Europa Leagues, they end up crying, and that's the best moment of their lives. Jose Mourinho didn't put a tattoo of the Europa League for no damn reason, boasting about how he's won it twice or 3 times and asking for respect. That's a big trophy. Like, I don't understand why people think that, it's just the Europa League, we don't really want to be in there. No. If you're an ambitious person in life, whatever sector you're in or whatever industry you're in, you want to thrive because you want to win. No trophy is small, in my opinion. Even the Carabao Cup is a big trophy in my eyes. The Community Shield is a big trophy in my eyes. I don't know what. It's like we've been winning for the last 10 years and it's just the Europa League. It doesn't matter if we win it. With that kind of attitude, it's just not what we want. And I hope our players don't have that kind of attitude.
No, they want to win it.
They want to win it.
They want to win it.
Our manager wants to win it.
Yeah, that's why he rested Varane. That's why.
I'm sorry, but I can't roll with this. I don't care about Europa League, just the domestic trophy. I'll be honest with you. I care more about the Europa League than the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup because the Europa League is bigger trophy.
It's the biggest trophy we can win this season. That's another valid point. It's easily the biggest trophy we can win this season. It's bigger than the Carabao Cup and it's bigger than the FA Cup.
Yeah, FA Cup, yeah. FA Cup lost all its prestige.
Is it bigger than the Premier League or Champions League? No, but we're not in the Champions League and we're not going to win the Premier League. Europa League is the biggest trophy and most prestigious trophy we can win. And it has the most pluses to winning the competition, i.e. 1, it being a European trophy, 2, getting back into the Champions League, 3, going into pot 1 of the Champions League as well. So but shout out to Emma though, because she is a real one. She is a real one.
Yeah. Yes.
And Nick says here, Man United shouldn't be playing either or with domestic and European trophies, win everything. Yeah, we can't be picking and choosing because we haven't won a trophy in 6 years. That's what it is. If we was like competing for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues, then I would be like FA Cup, League Cup, cool. Play second strings, play youngsters. That I'm with. Fergie did that all the time. Cool, because we were competing at the high end for the major 2 trophies. They're now not there. We are now dining on a lower budget. So therefore, we can't get lobster and caviar and steak and filet mignon. That's not there. So we gotta go lower down. We want to be dining at the big table eventually, and hopefully next season we are. I'm expecting next season a Premier League charge. Not necessarily a Champions League one, but I expect us to go at least get to the quarterfinals. Bare minimum, I'm expecting at least the quarterfinals. And then if we go out, we go out. Like if we play someone, if we were to play a Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or someone at the top of their game, I'll be happy with a draw and take the game to OT. Yeah, Faker, I agree with that. 100%. It is. CB says every cup you play for it regardless. Yes, I agree with that. I do agree with that. Nick says I worry for the Man United midfield. Gavi will play left wing, but he plays like a false winger, so the midfield will be overloading. Then if it's Wan-Bissaka or Delo, go with him. Go with him. And whoever's playing that right-hand side, does he switch it up? I don't know. Does he play Bruno out wide right to track their fullback? I don't know how their fullbacks play, but I'm guessing their fullbacks get high up the pitch. So maybe he goes and says, all right, Bruno's going to play wide right. But crap, we ain't got another midfielder. Does he then play Weghorst in the 10? But then there's no... Jeez, our options are thin. I'm not sure. Options are thin.
Options are thin right now.
Options are thin in this game in terms of just the suspensions. Because if you throw Sabitzer, then he could have played Casemiro, Fred, and Sabitzer, and then played Bruno wide right, and then Rashford left, and then Weghorst up top. He could have done that. But yeah, of course, like Nick, the midfield is going to be a problem, but we have the best midfielder on the pitch. So I have full faith in our midfield to do the business because we have the outstanding midfielder on that football pitch. Over 180 minutes. We have the best midfielder on there. So I'm fully backing Casemiro to do the business. And then alongside Fred will help. Obviously, second leg Sabitzer will then be available. You throw him in the mix as well. So yeah, I trust it. 100%. But yeah, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Yeah, Nick says Balde at left back is crazy rapid and the right winger plays more like a right forward with Koundé as right back. Yeah? Let's see. Do you start Dalot or Wan-Bissaka? I think Ivorian said Wan-Bissaka. I'm saying Dalot, but either or I'm cool with. If I see the lineup and Wan-Bissaka's playing right back, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that makes sense. But if I see Dalot, I'll be like, all right, cool, that makes sense. Like, that's how I look at it. Eddie says Cass is probably more familiar with Barca style than the Prem still. Yeah, because he's played them year in, year out for the past. How long was he at Madrid? Like 8 years.
I think 8 years to almost 10 years.
Yeah, almost a decade. Right? Almost a decade. Right, 100%. I think we will be physical with this game, especially to neutralize their midfield. Yeah, because we got dogs in midfield. Casemiro's physical. Fred is physical. Sabitzer, once he's back, is physical. So yeah, I'm fully expecting us to. That's our game plan anyway, to go and ruffle feathers and upset them. Yeah, it was 9 years. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was there almost a decade. 9 years.
Long time.
TB says, man, are competitive playing in the local park. You really think these men don't care about Europa? Come on, they won it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Emma says, if we're in Europa next season, then I would love it. But it's just we have a new manager, and I think the first thing we should do is establish ourselves domestically. I'll celebrate if we win, though. I think we can do both, though, Emma. I think we can establish ourselves domestically and win Europa. I've said a treble is on. Do I think we win the treble? A treble, should I say? No, because it is. It's not the treble. It's a treble. No, but I think we can win 2 out of 3. If we win, I think we can get a top 4 finish as well. Carabao Cup is 1 game. FA Cup, we've got quarterfinal, semi-final, and a final if we make it back. That's only 4 games. That's not really going to make that much of an impact. Europa League is a long-form competition, yes. But who knows who we're going to draw in the FA Cup. West Ham will play a strong team, but we might get a non-Premier League side. In the Europa League, I don't think we need to play our strongest teams depending on the draw. So it's all if, buts, and maybes. Word to James Redmond at this moment in time. That's what it is. It's all hypotheticals. It's all hypotheticals. Let's see. Nah, definitely not Paul. Fred in the 10. Nah, no.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
No.
That's a bad idea. Before we continue, you lot, let's bump up the likes. There's over 40 of you lot locked in the building. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 40 likes. We are 6 short. I know there's at least 6 of you lot who have not hit the like button. So hit the like button, subscribe as well. We're looking for 4 new subscribers. I know there's 4 new people here who haven't hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on the channel, hit the notification bell. Ivorian's channel's in the title as well, Red United TV. So you can click the link in the title. It will open up a new tab, take you straight to his page. You can go subscribe there, check out all his Manchester United content, and find all of his socials. But you can see his socials in his name. So go do that expeditiously, people. But yeah, all in all, I'm confident going into the game. And I hear Barcelona are playing well, but we're also playing well. So it's 2 teams in form. But the advantage is with us because we are because the home leg is at Old Trafford, I would say. But moving off of that, I wanted to get to this because I don't think we spoke on this, like, not in depth anyway. This is from JB, who said this earlier. New Qatar is trying to set up an arrangement with an independent fund which would allow it to respect the rules laid down by UEFA. So this is the Qataris trying to buy Manchester United, and that's from RMC Sport. How reliable that is, I don't know. But your thoughts on all the news that's coming out in regards to takeover, whether it's Qataris, whether it's Abu Dhabi, whether it's the Saudis, whether it's Jim Radcliffe, etc. And there's been this quote-unquote deadline been put this month where bids are going to be made by, I believe it's the end of this week. I think it's Friday.
Friday is the deadline.
It's Friday, all right. So your thoughts.
I keep saying it's like I just don't know. Like it's like Christmas has come very early, all in one year. A new manager that's changed our life. We're all smiling, and then we're hearing that the club's up for sale. I'm like, wow. But I'll be honest with you. All the news that I've been hearing, whether it's Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe, because we haven't discussed anything. I only care about a owner that has the club's best interest at heart. He's not in there to make money. Oh, he could make money, but he's not in there just to make peas. They got their own peas. He's in there to be competitive, to be the best of that class, to be the best football club in the world, domestically or whether that's in Europe. Just be the best in every aspect, whether that's the staff wise or that's player wise or at boardroom level, have the best in class, and that's all I care about. So far, seeing that we've got Sir Jimmy Radcliffe, interested owner of Ineos, worth about £13 billion, who is from Salford, who did grow up supporting Manchester United, but somehow close to buying Chelsea. Owns,
yeah, because he got Chelsea season ticket holder. He's a
got,
Chelsea season ticket holder.
He's got well, to be fair, it's like me. Like if you live in London and you've got money to watch Premier League football, you'll go to the best to be
travel.
entertained.
If you're a United fan, travel to Manchester. You got all that piece. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. I know.
I'm saying him. If you're that much of a United fan, travel in it. That's
absolutely.
All
he could travel, but he lives in London for the way things are. If you're always buying the Chelsea season ticket, like I understand that. Like I've been there. I was a season ticket holder for Crystal Palace because I love football and I wanted to watch Premier League football. You know,
you're not a billionaire though, so that
I know.
That I get it, innit? If it's me or you, I've been to the City Stadium to watch games. I hear that.
Yeah.
I've been to the MTN. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you're a billionaire, you can travel.
My point. You're just trying to give them a voice, you know, at the Etihad, you know, just one person more. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, Sir Jimmy Radcliffe as an owner, the way things they are, the deal that they want to set up in terms of clearing the depth of Manchester United and transferring the depth, I do like that. But there's also probably there's always some kind of what's the word that I'm looking for? They want to do something. What's the word I was looking for? Something that will come back and bite you.
Repeat the sentence again.
I said the fact that Ineos want to take Manchester United's depth and put them in their books, which is very nice. But I feel like there's some kind of there's a catch to it, basically.
Yeah, there's something. There's something not right. It's too good as it seems.
It is too good to be true right now for them to clear up our depth and just transfer it to their own books. And you want to manage our depths? It doesn't make no sense. Like, what do you want from us? What do you want? What you want? It's like when you approach a girl and you're telling the girl that you'll take her to Dubai and all that kind of stuff and all that kind. She's gonna ask you, "You offer me so much of these things, but what the fuck do you want, bro? What do you want? Like, tell me what do you want? Like, you're offering all of this, but what do you want from me? Like, you know where that leads up to. But yeah, and then you've got the Qataris and Dubai as well. Hopefully, get in there as well, and Saudis, which I'm more in favor of. again, people can say everything about human rights and etc. Let's be honest with you. You can talk about human rights, but we look at our countries, they violated human rights long time ago when they took a black man like me from my homeland and took my jewels and etc. Yeah, to be rich as fuck. But that's what's going on right now. So no one can talk about human rights, bro, because they need to check themselves before they wreck themselves. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Qataris ownership. Because why? Because these men don't give a shit about money. They do all they care about is boasting to their Qatari bedrooms, their other billionaire bedrooms, that my club is better than yours. And we need deep buckets. We need someone that's willing to invest in the club. As you can see, as we speak right now, the tap, I mean, the roof of Old Trafford is probably leaking from last week's rain. You get me? Because they still don't want to sort that out. You know, you've got Old Trafford. I mean, Carrington that needs revamping, needs fixing.
It does. We
And
need,
that seems like that's probably like 100 to 200 million pound reinvestment in the training ground, because we've fallen behind. We've fallen way behind, to the fact that CR7 said that it's the same jacuzzi or the same swimming pool since he's left. And we're Manchester United. We're supposed to be having the best training facilities. That needs investment, and the stadium as well. So we need someone that's and the squad itself needs about 300 to 400 million pound investment.
There's a lot of money to be spent. Absolutely, yeah.
So you're looking like, I think you're looking at close to over $500 million of investment that's needed for Manchester United. So we need the Qataris, and the fact that they are ambitious and they've got the money. Saudis as well, they've got the money. They're ambitious as well, and they want to do something. And I've also read about the Elon Musk looking to put in a bid as well. Whether that's true or not, or whether he just wants to just shut down Twitter again and cause a complete meltdown, that's him in it. And then we've also got an American investment group that's also interested in buying Manchester United, and they've got about, I think they're worth around 3 trillion. But we don't want an, we don't want an, I don't care how much money you've got. We've done the American thing. No, thank you. Like, we don't want no Yankees up in here. Sorry for the American listeners. Even they would themselves say, "Yo, we don't want to be involved."
You don't think Todd B's doing a good job at Chelsea?
Look at my face, bro. That guy don't know what he's doing in that stadium, bro. At that football club, he's ruining Chelsea. Chelsea will become the next Manchester United under American ownership. They will. The fact that you went to hire, I keep saying before, and I look at it, I'm starting to get right with this manager, this Harry Potter guy. I told you he will get sacked. Look at us right now.
Yeah.
He will get sacked by the end of the season. But as I was saying before, even the Americans will probably tell us that we don't want to be involved. The American Manchester United fans don't even want an American owner owning Manchester United. Eddie will tell you that for sure, that he doesn't want an American owner.
I'm not against it. I don't care what nationality you are. It's all about, to me, one, do you have the money, and two, do you have the best interest of the club at heart? They're the two things I look at. That's it. I don't care where you're from. I couldn't care less. That's what it's about. But we will see. But on this, in regards to, go on, carry on, fam. I just want to say that.
Yeah. So yeah, my hopes is that the Qatari buys Manchester United, man. I said before, I have to illustrate and re-illustrate it again. I want the owner that has the club best interest at heart, that only wants to succeed on the pitch and off the pitch, and improve the team and reinvest their money. They don't just see it as a cash cow. I don't want that, because that's what we had for the last 17 years. Someone that just saw us as a cash cow, milking us and making their money. So, but big up to what's going on right now. This is the most exciting time as a Manchester United fan. And Friday we'll find out who has made that bid and where it goes next. Flawless, I'm going to throw that question back to you, because no one ever throws questions back to you in your own show, and they need to. Now, your thoughts on this whole Qatari situation, Elon Musk.
Yeah. Because people have
Saudis.
been asking, we will get to all the what's it called, all the chats. I mean, all the questions in regards to this as well. So I'll see you lot. Of course, if you super chat, we'll get straight to it as well. So that's one surefire way. But I'm getting to all the questions I can. But before I answer your question, Eddie's telling me, "Nah, fam, chill, flawless," and he's American. I'm just saying. I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
see?
I'm not Eddie. I'm not saying go and get an American. I'm just saying I'm not fussed. Like nationality is not something I look at and go, I don't want such and such because they're from such and such. I'm not saying don't bring me an American or don't bring me someone who's English or don't bring me like no. I'm saying what's the money situation saying? How are you planning on taking over the club? That's one thing I don't like about the Ratcliffe thing. Are you talking about loaning money to clear the debt? And if you haven't got the money straight up, don't bid. You know what I'm saying? And that none of this loan thing. You know what I'm saying? This none of this, man. This ain't quick quid. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't Wonga loans. I'm not into that. We're dealing with big, big, big boy money. We're not talking millions. We're talking billions upon it. We're talking almost trillions in regards to just buying a club. Never mind wanting to. I would love chicken tenders at OT. I'm not gonna lie, Eddie. I'm saying, but I'm joking, people. But yeah, not only are we talking about just buying the club up, right? You spoken there about Old Trafford, revamping Old Trafford, revamping Carrington, the squad itself. This is a lot of money. So that's why we need someone in charge as well who wants what's best for the footballing club, the football club in a footballing sense. In regards to the ownership, I've been on this train for the longest and saying somebody's got to put the money up. I've been hearing about deadlines and bids and this billionaire and this trillionaire and this consortium of millionaires and Jim Radcliffe and this company. Nobody's putting a bid yet. So until somebody puts in a bid, all we are talking about is hypotheticals, which it sounds great in theory. And me and Mertaza, shout out to him, go back and forth about this all the time. Because he's already talking about, yeah, when we get new owners in the summer, we're going to do this, that, and the third. We haven't been taken over yet. And then we were talking about it yesterday on the Merseyside Derby watch along on a Twitch. And he was mentioning it to me and he said, well, the deadline's, I think it's Friday or Sunday. So I'm like, all right, so what happens if Friday or Sunday comes in and there's no bid? Then what? I'm not as confident as people are because there's been no credible sources looking at this. I haven't seen anybody come out, not even credible sources. I've seen nobody come out. If you're putting up 5 billion to buy something, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you or your representatives. That's what I want. That's just me personally. I'm not saying they have to. I'm saying that's what would make me feel comfortable and make me feel it's going ahead. Because if you're spending 5 billion on something, then surely we should hear from you because you have an invested interest in this. But I could be wrong and there's a bid made tomorrow. Could be a bid made tomorrow and United get taken over by some. Well, there's talks by Sunday. And it's by summer where we have new owners. But that's what I'm waiting on because all we're talking about right now is hypotheticals.
People don't understand this. This is the Rain Group who's overseeing it. They will get the best person. Everyone will submit their bid, but Rain Group will present the best person to buy the club to the Glazers. It's not just about who bid the most; it's about the interest. But knowing the Glazers, it's probably most likely going to be about who bidded the most. If I was the Glazers, I'd be more about who has the best interest of Manchester United, who's going to invest what we couldn't invest in. You know, when you buy this club, we're going to leave a terms and condition that you would have to fix the stadium, you have to fix the training ground, just like the way Todd B, when he bought Chelsea, he had to agree to the fact that he has to invest £1 billion back into the club. I may be wrong, I might be wrong, but I heard something like that. That when he bought it off of Abramovich through the Rain Group, he had to invest certain amount of money back into the club as promised. So I'm hoping that when Rain Group speaks to all those bidders, they make it abundantly clear that you have to not just spend 4 or 5 billion to buy this club, but you would have to spend an extra 700 million pound to reinvest into the club, into the stadium, into the training ground, and also in the squad. And on top of that, if they can just put that, you have to sack a lot of staff members for those who work upstairs, not the staff members who work within the squad. For those who are the recruitments in recruiting, the director of football needs to be sacked. The technical director, not the dinner lady, because we love the dinner lady. Ronaldo doesn't, but we do. You know, out here sending for the chef. What's wrong with you? The chef made sure that you grew those muscles. The chef made sure that you was nutritious enough to win those Ballon d'Ors to go to Real Madrid. But you're out here dissing the chef now, Ronaldo. You make me sick, bro. What did the chef do to you? What did the chef do to you? Can you imagine? But yes, I expect that the Rain Group put all of that in place in the terms and condition of buying Manchester United. If they don't, then I genuinely believe that the Glazers care about who bids the most money. Big up Paul Tierney that says, just thinking about of this when United happened to beat Ten Hag's Ajax in the Europa League, all right, with a different team. What do you think that is a small bit of extra incentives for him 2 years ago when we won the competition? I think so. I think it's an incentive for him to win something in Europe, especially the fact that he went to the finals. I believe it was him that was at the finals. I definitely think you're right, and ended up missing and not winning the Europa League, and on top of that, going to the semi-finals of the Champions League and crashing out. I think Ten Hag has something personal when it comes to Europe that he wants to finish his career by winning the Champions League or winning the Europa League, hopefully with Manchester United. Bucklock says that Ineos did announce they will make a bid themselves, which they did.
That's what I'm gonna get to. So they did. So where's the bid? What's his announcement?
It's coming.
So they announced when book clock. When did they announce this? Sorry about that, people. Someone banging down my door. Why? When did they announce this? Like, this is all well and good. I've been hearing again, people. I'm pessimistic on this because I've been hearing about this type of stuff for years. If you Google such and such United report, rumored United takeovers, and the amount of people who have announced that they're going to make bids, not just this season, I'm saying in general, the amount of times this has happened. This happened a hell of a lot. Hell of a lot. So, it was about 3 weeks ago. All right, so we'll see. I don't know how long these things take in regards to making a bid. Well, if that's the case, what's the deadline? Is the deadline Friday or Sunday?
I believe I've been told it's Friday, but you never know. With Manchester United, they could be lying to us. You never know with these things. It's big money. You can't just give people deadlines like that unless they've been told a month ago that Friday, whatever the date is, this Friday is the deadline. Unless,
yeah.
I'm hoping Rain Group, big company, they know what they're doing. They probably have done all of this and set them a deadline. And obviously, Manchester United have been up for sale, Flawless, since what I believe late December.
Yeah, we've been up for sale. We know the Glazers will sell to the highest bidder. We've been up for sale for the longest. We're always up for sale because we know what the Glazers are like. They're greedy. Someone put $7 billion on the table, they'll probably sell. You have to proclaim an interest just to see financials of the asset you're buying.
Yeah, it's true.
Won't come in out of the blue. And this is my point. Is what I'm saying. People are acting like this is going to happen overnight. All I'm saying is, all we are talking about here is hypotheticals. And if, buts, and maybes. Where to James Redmond? I deal with absolutes.
Exactly.
I deal with absolutes. That's what it is. That's all we've been hearing about. Keep going. One sec, fam. Bear me. 1 sec.
Yes. Yeah, and big up Bucklock that says that you have to proclaim an interest just to see the financial of the assets you're buying. So a bid won't just come in out of the blue. Absolutely. And people don't know it, that you have to, first of all, express your interest, how it works. Express your interest to the Rain Group that you want to buy Manchester United. And then a lot of things come into play. Okay, you want to buy a club? All right, then. Show us your finances. We're going to allow you to see some of a sneak peek of Manchester United finances, but we want to see your assets. The money, where's the money coming from? What do you own? How can you prove that you have this amount of money? Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come up in there and say, yeah, I want to buy Manchester United. Like, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, they will do their due diligence on you, and you need to present just like the way you present your facts and to a bank when you want a bank loan. It's the same situation you would have to go through to buy Manchester United. So that's why it will take some time as well. Bucklock says only a SIF deal is absolute.
My bad, fam. My bad.
I like that. Only a SIF deal is absolute, though.
Only SIF deals. No, I deal in absolutes because then we don't talk all this I don't deal with hypotheticals and rumors because we could be talking about this from now till this time next year. Like I said, just go on Google and type in reported bids for Manchester United or rumored interest. And I guarantee that Google page, you could probably go up to page 40 on Google search. I'm saying Ineos, Jim Radcliffe, Qataris, Abu Dhabi, this consortium, that consortium, this bunch of billionaires, this bunch of millionaires. Where's the bid? It's pure rumors, isn't it? I deal with absolutes. That's what it is. I'm tired. This is why I don't get emotionally invested. People talking like these owners are just here. Like, we're gonna go and sign X, X, and X. We're gonna go sign this player, this player, this player in the summer. Let's deal with what is actually in front of us. And not still like we're in dream. Don't be. I keep my feet on the ground. I don't deal with dreamland. Very similar to the title race. When people are like, Manchester United, no, we're not. Mathematically, yes, but can we realistically win it? No, I don't believe so. What's your actually switch lanes on that? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think we was ever in the title race. I take it one game at a time, bro. Like, you get me? We're winning games, but I take it one game at a time. If we end up in the situation come May where we're so close, then let it be a title race. But till now, I've seen Manchester United, and there's been many games where we haven't been at our best, you know. And you can just see that we still need quality in our squad. We still need adding. So right now, we're not in the title race. It's between Asna and man cheating. You get me? Yeah, man cheat. Out here faking accounts, doing 419s, faking figures and all that kind of stuff, pressing the edit button. But yeah, and one thing I'd say, big up. Yeah. One thing, thank you for highlighting that, because I was gonna go straight to that. Big up MSK, who made a valid point saying that the club income could be enough for the footballing side of it, like what's on the pitch. The new owners will have to get rid of the debt and invest in the other part and so forth. And we already know that Manchester United generate over 600 to 700 million turnover. Like, they make records. That enough shows that Manchester United can fix their own problems without their owners dipping in the pockets, because that's what it's been flawless. You've had the club for 17 years and you've taken £1 billion out. That £1 billion could have been reinvested back into the club. And if we never had owners that kept on dipping into our pockets, I say our pockets because you're a fan. You buy the merchandise. It's your money. You buy the tickets. It's your money that's going back and circulating back into that club. So yes. So it keeps dipping into our pockets, all the money that we've given Manchester United as a donation and a contribution and a tribute for us supporting them. That's how it is. That's how I feel like it is. When you give them money to buy the shirt, you're contributing, you're donating, you're just getting signed back in return. But yes, if they never done that, Manchester United will be healthy. So that just proves we don't need an owner to heavily spend. We just need the owner to fix the problems that we already have, which is obviously the training pitch and the stadium and the depth. So try and fix the depth. We don't really need you to invest into the squad, because Manchester United makes 700 million record-breaking turnover yearly, always breaking records. So Manchester United can afford to spend money with the money that they already make.
Facts. 110% facts. And yeah, I'm spot on with this. And this is why. So even with new owners coming in, I don't want what Todd B's done. I don't want Manchester United to spend 600, 700, 800 million. That's not what I'm saying. Manchester United, because of the club we are and the revenue that we gain, and you know what I'm saying, and the revenue, the financial revenue that we have and what we produce, we should never not sign a player because of lack of funds. That should never be an issue for Manchester United. That's where I want us to be. We should be able to compete financially with any club in Europe for any player. So, for instance, I've used this example before. I use it again. Come summer, if we were to sign Jude Bellingham, and Real Madrid were in for him, and Barcelona were in for him, and Manchester City, and Liverpool, and Chelsea, we should be able to compete against those clubs for Bellingham. If the asking price, say, was 120 million, and Ten Hag was like, let me go, I want Jude Bellingham, then we should be able to say, okay, here's the 120 million. And if Jude Bellingham chooses to go elsewhere, that's the reason. We should never lose out on a player because of finance. We should never be scrambling around in January for loan deals. That should never happen in a club of our size, because we are a financial juggernaut. So that's how I'm looking at it. Like, we should get back to where we've been in the past in terms of when we wanted to play, we just went and got him. We just put the money up. That's what I would say. Hey, big up to Monts as well. He says, big up my people, but fuck United. Hey, shout out to you.
Wait. I know
you got a big win.
He used to be happy. So I said,
man.
no, months.
You got a big Merseyside derby win, man, months, man. Positivity, my friend. Positivity, my brother, man. You should be happy. I'm here wishing you and your channel nothing but the best. Not Liverpool, but but you still won. So there you go.
How's man gonna choose violence on Valentine's Day, bro? Bring out all that negativity, man. Where's
all
the
that
love?
negativity? Where's the love, man? You know what I'm saying? If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Jurgen Klopp. That's where you should direct this energy.
Not us. How you gonna hop on a Man United show, say nothing but big up my people, but F United? Like, whoa. Why? Big up Liverpool though.
Yeah,
I feel
but
for
big
them.
up. You lot go subscribe to Big Six Bands as well. Can I ask a question? Why is everybody up in arms that Qatar want to buy United? Because people all of a sudden want to play this moral high ground and talk about. I've already mentioned it before, and without going all into it, all of a sudden people want to. As soon as it's someone who's not English and it's a foreign owner from anywhere, whether that's American, whether that's Middle East, or whether that's somewhere in Europe, all of a sudden we're looking at the moral code and their ethics and how they got their money. Like this country's not built on absolute bullshit. So that's what I look at. That's legit what it is. That's all that stems from. Let's continue to get your questions in as well, people. That's funny about any of us knocking on your door, Flawless. That's jokes. Continue to get your questions in. Let's continue to bump up the likes. We're 5 short of 50 likes. Let's get up to 50 likes, people. And we're 3 short of the subscriber mark. We're looking for 5 new subs. Now we're only looking for, wait, let me check. Yeah, we're 3 short. 3 new subscribers. I know there's at least 3 of you lot who have not hit the subscribe button. Let's get up to 5,270. We're looking for 3 more. We're at 267 currently. Here's road to 6K. So let's do those things, people. Like, check, subscriber check. Emma says, we're going to have even more fan revenue under new ownership, as all of us who haven't bought merch under the Glazers will buy again. Some who go to games don't even buy food and drinks at the stadium. This is a valid point, Emma, as well. This is a very, very valid point. Yeah. Man said it's always a fuck United thing, even when I'm asleep. Yeah, likewise. Like Brush said, Liverpool got to respect the energy. Likewise, over these sides, 100%. It's always a fuck Liverpool thing. You man are number 1 ups all the time. All the time. Wishing you nothing but the worst. You know what I'm saying? It's Liverpool Football Club. Paul says, just thinking of this, when United happened to beat Ten Hag's Ajax in the Europa final, all right, with a different team. Now, do you think that it's a small bit of extra incentive for him to go on and win the competition? It wasn't Ten Hag in charge when we beat them.
That's what I was asking this. Was it him?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there. It wasn't him. No, it wasn't Ten Hag. It was, I've Googled it now. I'll tell you the name now, but it wasn't Ten Hag. Because I've been asked this question before and we checked it and it wasn't him.
I think that manager left Ajax to go Dortmund, right? And then Ten Hag came in.
I'll tell you now. 1 second. I'll have a look now. Bear with me.
What year did we win it?
2017. Last time we won a trophy from. It's the last time we won a trophy. But that's soon to end in less than 10 days. Less than, yeah, wait, 26? No.
It was
2017 from. 2017. It was. Let me see. Stats. Hold up. I'm having a look now. Hold up. 1 sec, fam. Pogba scored in the final, I forgot. How long ago it was. Herrera got man of the match. I'm having a look now. Manager. These lot probably know before us. Yeah, Peter Bosch. He was called. Peter Bosch. And he now manages, I tell you now, managerial career, manager. So yeah, Ajax. Wait. Is this him as a manager or is this him as a player? Yeah, entering management. So after Ajax, yeah, he went Dortmund.
I was right.
Yeah, he was right. He went Dortmund, then he went Leverkusen, and then he went Lyon. So yeah, it wasn't what's it called? It wasn't him. It wasn't Ten Hag. But he'll have extra incentive because he wants his first European trophy. That's why. He'll have extra incentive himself. That's good for him to get off the mark. Because then you want to get a hoodoo of being poor in Europe off, or you end up like Antonio Conte. You don't want that. You're not trying to do that. Then all of a sudden it's like, jeez. Same way with the Carabao Cup final, which we're going to talk about in a second. That as well. That's vitally important. You want to get your first trophy at your club expeditiously just to get that off your back as well. Get that monkey off your back. That's what you're trying to do. Because then that eliminates, all right, can you win here? That eliminates that question mark. You're a good manager, but all right, the trophies are not matching. The results and performances are matching, but the trophies have to match that as well. So now if we go and win the Carabao Cup, eliminates that. Eliminates United not having won a trophy in 6 years. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, the season's been a success. Now, how successful can the season be? Now it's a question of, all right, we win one trophy. Can we win 2 or 3? That's how we're looking at it. But your thoughts, Carabao Cup final. I don't think we spoke. Have we spoke since we got through? I think we spoke once, but we didn't speak again.
No. Carabao Cup final. Oh my god, I'm looking forward to that one. I genuinely believe we can win that team. I mean, win the trophy, especially against Newcastle. I know Newcastle have been a tough opposition, but look at them now. They're kind of dying and fading away in terms of getting points in the Premier League. They're drawing more now. They're not as creative as they used to be. It seems to me that they're getting tired. Although they got a good defense, I just think Manchester United got the edge and the quality to just see that. And with our manager being a manager who's been in positions of winning in cup finals and winning it as well, and also winning titles compared to the other guy, which is what's Newcastle's manager? What's his name again? Eddie Howe, who's never been there. It's new for him. With and these also some of these Newcastle players have never been there, and it's all new for them. Can they handle the pressure? Because they haven't won a trophy for God knows how long. Like, we don't know. We can't even tell you. We can't tell you. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be nerve-wracking. Whereas for Manchester United, I know they haven't won trophies. They haven't won a trophy since 2017. But these players are hungry for it and they want to do it. So definitely, I see that Manchester United will win that trophy against Newcastle. I would cry if they don't, but I know they will. They will.
Yeah, it would be a big blow if we don't win the trophy, of course. Newcastle are a good side, defensively very, very solid. Have players who can hit you on the break and hurt you from an offensive standpoint. It's been a long time, like Ivorian said, since they last won a trophy. So Eddie Howe will be looking to win a trophy. There is pressure on them to do that as well. But of course, there's more pressure on us because we're a bigger club. Obviously, with Ten Hag, this is his first chance to pretend. This is his first shot at winning a trophy at the club. So you don't want to lose the final because that could be then detrimental, especially considering we played the Barcelona second leg 3 days before. So that could also play a factor because if we go out to Barcelona, then that could galvanize the players or that could hurt the players. But then if we go through against Barcelona, and this adds into what I'm talking about. Imagine we go through at Barcelona at home. The high the players are on going into that Carabao Cup final, having just knocked out Barcelona, who are outside in good form. And this is what I keep saying. Form is not something you can turn on and off like a tap. You can't flick it on and off like a light switch. And this is why it's so important to keep the good form going. This is why I'm not talking about throwing away games, because that can be detrimental. It really can. That can be a momentum killer. It can be a confidence killer as well. And this is why you see Ten Hag, even when we've played non-Premier League sides in the domestic cup, still play strong sides. Because he understands the key of momentum, the key of form, not being able to switch it on and off. He's trying to keep the standards high at all times. You can't just drop off one game and just throw away ties. Nah. Yeah, I'm not with that. But yeah, in the final, I think we'll win it. I'm very confident of winning the Carabao Cup final. But then again, I'm confident again to the FA Cup final and winning that. I'm also confident again to the Europa League final and winning that. I'm also confident of getting past Barcelona, which a lot of people aren't. But we'll see on Thursday. Oh, yeah, that being said, people, Thursday, there'll be no ManDem United podcast because I'll be doing the watch-along, obviously, for Barcelona, Manchester United. And then Thursday will be the Arsenal-Manchester United show with Cam and myself. So you know that's going to be crazy because Arsenal play City on Wednesday and then Manchester United play Barcelona on Thursday. So imagine Arsenal lose to City and Barcelona lose and Manchester United lose to Barcelona. That show's going to be an absolute car crash. Absolute car crash. You'll know this. Yeah, no stress, fam. No stress. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we've closed everything. I mean, I think we've answered all the questions. Yeah, we have.
Yes.
So look to everyone that's locked in.
Wait, Flawless, before I go, you know what I do. Just like last time, I'm going to throw a wild question at you to do your ranking again. And you get to pick and you tell us why. So, all right. Are you ranked these top three? Wayne Rooney, Eric Cantona, Van Nistelrooy.
What? Just in terms of just 11.
Who's your top three?
Cantona, Rooney, Van Nistelrooy. 1, 2, and 3.
Why Cantona? Why Rooney? And why Van Nistelrooy?
Because Cantona was the catalyst for Manchester United's dominance. Like in a star-studded team, he was the guy who took us over the top. Like if you talk to players from who played in that era, they'll say Cantona was the guy who took us over the top. He was the go-to guy. He was the guy who helped us win 4 league titles in 5 years. And the one league title we didn't win was the one when he got suspended because he kicked the fan at Palace. I don't think you don't get all of the success after him without him. He's the starting point of it. So that's why Cantona. Because I don't think he set the stage for Rooney and Van Nistelrooy and the rest to be successful. He set, even though he wasn't a part of the treble, he set the stage for the treble.
Yep, he did.
He was the difference maker. Look, go back and check the amount of games Manchester United won 1-0 in the 90s with Cantona scoring the winning goal. Happened all the time. All the time, 1-0 Cantona. Man used to be checking teletext. I'm saying this is how long we talking about. I would just say 1-0 Cantona.
Yeah, you know, teletext.
Teletext, like FA Cup final against Liverpool. 1-0 Cantona. Great finish as well. That's one of my earliest memories of supporting Manchester United is that goal. Because that finish was incredible. Because he shouldn't be able to maneuver his body to strike that, innit? And yeah, Monza Soap, I hope you're still here. Hold that. So yeah, and it was against Liverpool as well, adding on top of that. So just a difference maker from a domestic standpoint. As for Rooney, self-explanatory. Why Rooney second? Quality player. A part of one of our best teams, arguably our best ever side in 08. And that front three with Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez. So that's why Rooney. Van Nistelrooy only because we weren't as successful. But in terms of just as a pure striker, absolute gunman, as someone said. Absolute gunman. Like one of the best finishers arguably the best finisher I've ever seen in the Manchester United era. Arguably like that good. And look at his goal. Look at his goal return. Why? What was your three? What was your 1, 2, and 3?
It would be the same.
Yeah,
Cantona, Rooney, then Van Nistelrooy. It's Cantona for what he's done, and also on top of that, he was the trend center of Manchester United becoming a successful club and starting that. Where Rooney, how can you not? He's the all-time goal scorer for Manchester United. What he's done, the sacrifices he's made for Manchester United. The guy's even sacrificed his own position for the greater good of Manchester United, whereas some other players will never do that. You know, sacrifice where they are so that the other man can be the star man. And you know who I'm talking about, because Rooney sacrificed himself so his peer Ronaldo can shine, you know, and he played behind him and feed him the ball, etc. And then Van Nistelrooy, again, we wasn't as successful as we was with Cantona and Rooney compared to Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was the least successful out of all of them.
Yeah,
he wasn't there to win the Champions League, which is a sad thing. He didn't win that much Premier League because at that time there, Chelsea, that time that Chelsea came up and they were causing some problems, and also there was Arsenal at that moment there when he was there. But apart from goal returns, he's the best. He's one of the best finishers I've ever seen at Manchester United as a striker. Absolutely. Like, you put your house on him scoring these goals, man. Apart from the penalty he missed against Arsenal, definitely. But yeah.
Yeah, man. I love to everyone who has, you know what I'm saying, locked in. Like I said, the ManDem United podcast won't be back Thursday. It'll be back Friday. Because the reason why I won't be back Thursday, because we're going to do the watch along for Barcelona versus Manchester United. And then obviously following that will be the Arsenal Manchester United show. Going to talk from the Arsenal podcast meets the ManDem United podcast. So Cam and myself talking all things Arsenal and Manchester United. Bear in mind, Arsenal are playing City the day before, and there will be a watch along for that on Wednesday alongside the Q&A. All of this is on the upcoming live stream schedule. Mine and Saints show won't be tonight. The ManDem United crossover, you know, with the Manchester United Liverpool show. Well, I've talked to Saint, but probably Saturday, people. You'll probably get that Saturday night. And tonight we're done on the YouTube, but on the Twitch, PSG versus Bayern, people. So the ManDem will be holding that down on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Download the Twitch app for free, sign up for free, and then Surfer and the rest of the gang will be over there on Twitch watching PSG versus Bayern Munich. I won't be there though, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Dewey's, so I will not be there, unfortunately, but the gang gonna hold it down. Ivorian, anything you want to add, let them know where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Yes, guys. Of course, remember to subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. Also, subscribe to Red United TV, and of course, you can watch my latest podcast is on Instagram, which was done yesterday. So, follow Red United TV 1 on Instagram. And of course, follow me personally, Ivorian_Spice on Twitter. And we'll see you again. Until next time, as it's just another great stream, another great week for Manchester United. And let the great weeks, let the wins continue.
Yeah,
That's what I want to
100%.
say.
Love to everyone who has locked in, people. Yeah, man. And like I say, check out the upcoming live stream schedule. Let you know all the shows that are coming up. But this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in.